Today we'll go over setting up the Neo 2 so you can start flying. I'm so excited to open up this box. It was shipped from South Korea. We're opening it up for the first time. Since buying new from any US markets is virtually impossible, I had to order it from South Korea from eBay of all places. The seller is 102_store00. Ordering on February 14th, an item arrived February 20th. Total price was $439 after taxes. This is the Fly More combo. You got the remote, Neo itself, as well as the antenna for external flights. Everything is sealed so we know it's legit. And all the way on the bottom is the Neo itself. Once you've unpacked everything, this is what you would see. You got the Neo, the controller, 2 batteries, 1 battery is already inserted. USB-C to Lightning connector. USB-C to USB-C, 2 spare propellers. Manual, and of course there's a screwdriver for the propellers, just in case you have to change the propellers, replace the propeller as needed. Let's take a quick look at the Neo itself. You got the gimbal guard. Squeeze it down from the bottom and lift it straight out. Unlike the previous generation, this is actually 2 axis of stabilization. So the video footage is a lot better than before. I'm told that this is 360-degree object avoidance. This is hard to say because I don't see any sensor on the side nor the back. Seems 360 sensors rely on these 2 cameras here as well as on the bottom back. I don't see sensors anywhere else. The extended range antenna is already mounted in position, held together by 4 tiny Phillips screws. I thought this would be very stiff, but apparently it is soft, so hopefully it will last through a crash or 2. There is the power button on top, some buttons on the bottom side, 1, 2, 3. Charge it up down here via the USB-C port. It's interesting to note that the USB-C port in on the bottom. Use it for charging or transferring video files to your computer. This is a terrible position because if you crash, and you will, then the USB-C port will get gunk, dust, or even water in there. Yes, you can download videos from drone to your phone, but it's not lighting fast as from drone to PC via the USB-C cable. I highly recommend buying a USB-C port cover. To mount your phone, this is pretty much standard from other remotes. I remember this from the Air 2S generation of drone. Obviously, it is not compatible with older drones, such as the Air 2S though. Neo and Neo 2 transmission is 04, while the Air 2S is only on 02 transmission protocol. Slide the locking mechanism away and then put the phone in. Here is an old phone of mine as an example, the Samsung S8. Once you slide into this groove right here, pull the locking mechanism up and it will lock into place. Insert the USB-C cable into the phone. The battery is at about 25% right now. To power up, as before with all DJI stuff, press, then press, and hold. Now it's on and ready for action. To power it off, just press, then press and hold for it to go all the way back down. There's a lot of question on how to remove the battery out, and I can see why. It is so tight, no way you can squeeze your hand in. The instructional photo shows you just slide from the bottom and press it down to charge it. To get it out, don't bother trying to squeeze it out. Put your finger here and push it right out like so. To pop the battery, if it is already installed on a drone, squeeze the side, press the 2 sides to squeeze it, and then slide it up. To install it back in, just pop it into place. Press it in until you hear a click. Just for size comparison, here is a $2 bill. So it's a little bit more than the bill from this side, and about the same size with the bill from this angle. So it's a lot wider and shorter on this angle right here. Here it is compared with the charging hub and the battery itself. Personally, I really don't like these batteries just because it's very hard to get it into the drone and also very hard to get it out of the drone. I wish they kept the previous Neo 1 battery's design. It was on the bottom and you just slide battery in or out as needed. The controller itself with the phone is a lot bigger than the motion controller. It is chunkier too. There are 2 joysticks down on the bottom side. You are supposed to screw them in, but personally I don't like to fly like that. I just fly it like this. Most of the time I'll be flying it with this motion controller. You can see how much smaller the motion controller is compared to this handheld phone controller. Here it is compared with the $2 bill. I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but this cookie container is the perfect size to contain the drone. It fits perfectly fine without any issue whatsoever. The antenna is barely reaching to the top at about 3 millimeters of spare room. Believe it or not, this is how I carry the drone around inside of my Peak Design bag. If you are controlling the drone just by your hand, if you fly the drone just by itself without any controller, without any phone, then it is ready to fly out of the box. Even though I ordered this from South Korea, the Neo 2 mini display shows English only. There's no language barrier whatsoever, assuming you know English. But because I'm controlling the drone not just by my hand, I need to update firmwares on everything. I got the DJI N3 goggle with motion controller. Sometimes I use the RC-N3 along with the phone, or just using the phone as the controller. Therefore, we need to make sure all the devices are on the latest DJI Fly app and firmware. To do that, we need to install this one DJI program. Go to this website. Since I'm using Windows, I'm just going to download this zip file, extract it, and then install it. Once you're done with the installation, go ahead and open it up. DJI Assistant 2 Consumer Drone Series. Let's start the firmware update with the Neo 2. If you just connect it to your computer via the USB-C port on the bottom of the drone, then it shows up as a USB flash drive. To actually get the DJI Assistant program to recognize the drone, we need to power the Neo 2 up. Make sure that the gimbal guard is off before you fully power up the drone. Press it once and then press and hold on the power button at the top. Now it shows up as an internal storage, but also as connected device. Click on it. The current version in the drone is 500. The latest version from DJI is also 500. That's good. The drone is ready to go. There's no need to update anything. If you need to update it, then there should be something about upgrading or maybe refresh on the right-hand side. Repeat the whole process for the RC-N3 controller, the motion controller, and goggle if you have those items. On an Android phone, we need to install the DJI Fly app. Once the APK has been downloaded on your Android phone, go ahead and click on it to start the installation process. My phone won't let me install it, so let's click on Settings. Allow from the source. Click on Install again. With the app installed, let's click on Open. Click on Agree. Click on Authorize Selected Only. I don't know about this, so I'm going to click on Not Now. Maybe I'll do it later. Create an account if you don't have one or log in. Since I have an account already, I'm going to log in. Click on Login. There's some basic tutorial if you want to look at it. Click OK. Let's turn on my GPS and now power on the Neo 2. Without phone's GPS, you won't be able to connect to the Neo. Click on Before You Fly box. Go to Setting. Allow. Allow. And now it will detect the Neo. Click on it. Again, press Then and hold the power button for 3 seconds. When you see Neo, click on Next. By the way, if this video is helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This lets YouTube know my video is indeed helpful and will recommend to others like yourself. Click on Agree. Now the Neo is fully set up, ready to fly using the phone as the controller. Flying the Neo is super simple. Once you are connected to it, click on Go Fly. Here are all of the environments that you should be aware of. All of its sensors rely on a well-lit environment. Start. Turn camera towards subject and press Takeoff button to start. The takeoff button is located underneath and it has an orange mark on it. The aircraft is now recording. Once filming is complete, tap I'm done filming on your device to enter the landing section of the tutorial. And arm and open palm for aircraft to automatically return and land on palm. Press select buttons on aircraft side to view effects of different modes on mobile device. I'm going to skip for now just because I want to control the drone manually. If you want to take manual control, go ahead and click on follow and then click on manual control, right? I can take off, press and hold on it. It seems to be smart enough to know that there's an obstacle in front of it, so that's why it stopped. I'm behind it, which is about 3 feet away, and that's why it stopped. There's also the left and right side obstacle avoidance. Right now it will not move just because there's a cabinet right there. That's pretty smart, pretty slick. Let's try on the right hand side. And yep, it knows that there's another desk on the right hand side. If you want to land, pressing down all the way down. Let's go back to the main screen. Click on the settings to see all of the smart snaps, and you can change some of it. For instance, in the follow mode, change direction, the follow heights, and distance. The follow mode has several follow orientations. For instance, the front, the rear right, the left, the right side, etc. Let's go down to camera settings. There's not a lot of option. Clicking on photos, you'll see these are the only options. There is absolutely no raw format. In videos, you have these options. You can change the frame rates, but you cannot change shutter speed whatsoever. You can't even change file format. Color profile is stuck at normal. You can't change aspect ratio. You can only change resolution from 4K down to 1080p. For frame rates, these are your options. File formats is stuck at 265. You can do portrait modes, and it's pretty nice that the resolution is 2.7. Again, color profile is stuck. Only frame rate is changeable. If we go into more settings, then here are some of your options. Unfortunately, there's no way to take full manual control of the camera using just the phone. For more control, you'll need the RCN3 or the Motion Controller 3. By default, the gesture control is off, so don't forget to turn on if you want to control it with your palm. If you are in the United States, don't forget to change it to Imperial so that you know how far the aircraft is or how close something is. You don't always need to recalibrate the gimbal, but here it is in the gimbal section and down the bottom. Connecting to the remote controller, the RCN3 is super simple. Turn on the controller by pressing down the power button, then press and hold the power button. Connect to your phone using the USB-C cable provided with the remote. Once connected to the phone, the installed DJI Fly app should open up automatically. In the settings, you can change the frame rates, as we saw earlier before, and resolution. Frame rates can go up to 60 frames per second. The controller gives you much more options, such as the ISO. I'm in a very dark room right now, so that's why a higher ISO is needed to brighten the image. Remember, this option is not available on the phone by itself. You need to connect this to the RCN3 or motion controller. Shutter speed is changeable. The lowest is 1/60 and the highest is 1/8000. ISO goes all the way up to 12,800. Obviously, the aperture is not changeable. Right now, we are using video mode. That's why you can see the record button. To change it to photo, click on the icon and then it will go into photo mode. In photo mode, you have the same option as before. Aspect ratio, resolution is fixed. There is no raw formats. You can change the ISO, shutter speed, and that's it. Personally, I love flying FPV with this drone. Before I can fly though, we need to bind the Neo to the goggle. Let's turn both of them on. On the Neo, press power, then press and hold the power button. The props are twitching, so that's how you know it's powering up. Same method for the goggle. Press and then press and hold to get it on. Get the Neo in pairing mode by pressing and holding power button for 3 seconds. The lights are flashing to let you know that it's in pairing mode. On the goggle, go ahead and press and hold power for 3 seconds. If all is good, then on your goggle, you will see that it's showing whatever the Neo is seeing. Right now, the drone is on the floor, so that's why you see the floor in the goggle. DJI has a great tutorial on how to use this motion controller, as seen in this video. As for manually adjusting the image quality, all of the settings are similar to the RCN3. It's too bad I cannot show you all of the settings within the N3, just because the N3 goggle does not have HDMI output for me to record for you. Alright, hopefully you found this video helpful. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and thanks for watching.